Good evening, ladies, as well as gentlemen. Papa Boris here with some more Hearthstone Arena action. There's a little part of me, actually, that wants to take a break today and not play Arena until the next patch comes out. If you haven't heard the news, folks, Unleash the Hounds is going to get nerfed from 2 mana to 3. I kind of wish they'd nerf it to 4, but 3 is still better than nothing. Still, though, for now, we'll deal with the 2 mana Unleash the Hounds and play around as Mage. Legendary! Oh, boy. Oh, man. Okay, the pick here is probably Sylvanas, but I'm going to take ARCHMAGE LEONIDAS because whatever, he's so much fun. Oh, I have to choose between Flame Strike and Water Elemental. Are you kidding me? Well, we'll take the Flame Strike. That's more important. Fireball's an easy pick. Alright, Wolf Rider is good. It's removal, but as a mage, I'm not that concerned about removal, so we'll take the Mana Worm here for some early potential, and another Mana Worm for some more early potential. Just doubled our early potential, folks. Gotta choose between Blizzard and Violet Teacher. We're gonna go for more of a control style deck with ARCHMAGE here, so I'll go ahead and for the Blizzard there, though the Violet Teacher is of course great. Polymorph is delectable. I have to be a little bit careful not to end up taking too many spells. We'll take a Bluegill Warrior here to hold up in the early game a little bit. And, okay, tough moment here. Probably not Shattered Sun Cleric. I mean, it is good with Mana Worm. It is good with Mana Worm. If you play Mana Worm on turn 1, coin the Cleric on turn 2, you end up with, what's-her-face, 3-4 Mana Worm. But I could use some Taunt, I think, more than I could use this buffing at the moment, because I just need to hold up so that, you know, I can just wreck the opponent with my endgame spell. So do you take the Sanjin, which is better overall, or the Grizzly, which fits into the curve? We'll take the Sanjin, but it's a close call there. That's a difficult choice. This is a bad pack. I have a lot of spells, so Mana Addicts could almost be playable, but I'll take the Arcane Golem as because it's an actually good card. Over a third Mana Worm, let's grab Darkscale Healer. Let's get some actual beefy creatures. I think the Wolf is good. Buffing the Worms could be nice, and other things as well. I think I'll take Frostbolt over another Senjin. And we'll take the best 2-drop in the game. I don't really like Mirror Entity that much. Mirror Entity, actually, to be fair, has wrecked me a non-zero number of times, but over just a really good drop. I think I'll just take the good drop. So I could take another Wolf, but I'm actually going to grab Abusive Sergeant. That is nice as well, to increase my odds of getting some 1-drops. Wolf Rider or Scarlet Crusader? I mean, do I just go for the complete, like, removal deck? Sure, let's try Wolf Rider here. Alright, man, I'm not going to take Elven Archer. We'll take the Frost Wolf Warlord here, though he's probably going to be bad in this deck. Oh my god. Let's take Archmage over the Reckless Rocketeer. I'm not actually that good at burning people out if I don't get the Archmage. All I've got for burn is a Fireball, so I'd rather have the, I meant Archmage Antonidas, who, by the way, I'm sometimes going to call Archmage Leonidas. I apologize. He just seems like Leonidas to me. I realize they're very different. Anyway, I'd rather have the spell damage and the extra health than the automatic 5 damage. Yay! Broken card. Wow, another Blizzard? Sure, we'll take another Blizzard. This is going to be either very good or very terrible. I just need to make sure I have enough creatures. Now, Boulderfist Ogre is a temptation. Really amp up my endgame, but let's actually grab Cone of Cold here for some more removal, just so we can actually survive to see the endgame. Here's our Shattered Sun Cleric for our Mana Worms. These are interesting secrets. I'm just going to take Imp Master, though. Let's just happily take the stuff. Now, I think here I'm going to make a little bit of an odd choice. I'm going to go for the Engineer. I don't have any card draw on the deck, so I want to, you know, thin out my deck. If this isn't really a card draw because I'm not going up a card, but I at least want to thin out my deck to be a bit more consistent. Wow, we actually get a second legendary. This is a bit of a garbage legendary pack. Don't want King Mukla, I don't think. I don't want to give my opponent bananas. The Lore Walker is just abysmal in this deck with all of the really great spells. I could play it as like a tactical play early on, and then just not use my spells and let the opponent kill this for like a delay of some sort. I don't know. It seems a bit dicey to do. I guess I don't have that many spells, do I? I've got the Frostbolt. I felt like I started out with all these spells, but yeah, there's not that many spells. This is a reasonable choice, I think. He can get buffed by Abusive Sergeant or by Direwolf and actually become an attacker. Shattered Sun Cleric can buff it. Nose Dormu I don't think is the right call. I've already got, well, I don't have that many endgame creatures, just the Archmage. Frostwolf Warlord maybe, but not necessarily. We'll take the Lore Walker. That's a close call. I don't think I've ever actually played with Lore Walker. Okay, over a third Mana Worm, I'm going to take the Arcane Intellect. Again, I want to make sure I've got the card draw so I can see my stuff. Yes, I'll take another broken card. Thanks, game. This is pretty good. Over the spell damage, I think, is worth it. And this is unfortunate. The Mana Addict, I guess, isn't that good. I don't have that many spells. We'll take the Cobra here for some more kind of slow removal. I have no idea if this deck is, like, insane or just terrible. And I'm sure there are some people who are mad that I didn't take Nosdormu, but an 8/8 for 9 mana is pretty awful. I would pretty much rather have a War Golem, honestly, which is a 7/7 for 7 mana. So you're paying 2 extra mana for 2 extra stat points there with that Nosdormu. Now the time limit thing, that actually did cause me to lose one game. One game in my career as a Hearthstone player did I lose to Nosdormu. I talked about this before, but basically what happened was I didn't quite count my arithmetic because of the time limit. I thought I had lethal. I was actually 1 damage short, and because I sent everything at my opponent's face, he actually was able to kill me. But other than that, that was like over almost like 280 arenas by this point. That's one time that Nosdormu has ever been good. I played with Troll Dormu in a stream recently. It was it was a stream that actually made it into my greatest hits because it was just so hilarious in so many ways, and it really wasn't that good. I got to play it I think once, and not that exciting. So yeah, we'll leave that alone. Lore Walker, at least I can drop down. Awkwardly about Lore Walker, one thing I forgot about him is that if you use your coin, the coin is a spell, so the Lore Walker actually sends the coin over. Okay, this is really annoying. I cannot play my Bluegill Warrior now because the North Strat Cleric will kill it and draw my opponent a card, so there's really just, it's impossible to play that. But what I could do, well, I could pray for a Mana Worm, or I could just coin out the Imp Master on turn 2. My opponent could then, of course, use the North Strat Cleric to draw cards, but then that will be his 3rd turn, so he'd be spending his entire turn drawing a card. I am okay with this. All right, I've got Water Elemental. Water Elemental is a little bit weak against Priests. They have a very good answer to it. Shadow Word Pain is a 2-mana card that will kill a Water Elemental. They're pretty much the best class in the game at killing Water Elementals. Priests also are the best class in the game, in my opinion, against Mages, because they reduce the Mage's burn potential and they can heal the minions, which has all kinds of benefits for the Priest. He has a really fast start here as well. Yeah, my opponent's got the advantage here for sure with these 3 toughness minions. Oh, Frostbolt, I love you so much. So that's it for the Northshire Cleric. Next turn, I'll probably play the Imp Master. I mean, yes, this thing can damage the Imp Master a little bit, but it's worth it to start a couple of Imps going. I don't see the reason to coin out the Water Elemental. Oh my god, he just does not stop with the play. So now I might actually coin into the Water Elemental. Oh no, got a Harvest Golem myself. Perfect. So we'll do this. It's fine. This is a little bit sturdier against my opponent's attacks. Neither of his minions will actually kill my Golem without a buff. Of course, he's been playing nothing but quality all day. Northshire Cleric, Sun Fury Protector, Harvest Golem, quality minions on a quality curve. And he's a Defender of Argus. Are you goddamn kidding me? Well, now I need to get Flame Strike, or else I'm just screwed. Because what happens here is you can actually take out my Golem, and his minions both live to tell about it, which is real bad. Blizzard would also work. I do have 2 of them in this deck. But, yeah, it's a little bit problematic. What is he doing? What is he doing with the 0 mana? He's passing a turn. Did he forget to attack with his Golem? Did he just stone cold forget to attack with his Golem? I think he actually just forgot. Sorry, I'm very repetitive here, but I think he actually just forgot to attack with his Golem. Alrighty, well, do we play the Water Elemental? I could play Bluegill Warrior, kill that, play Imp Master. I could polymorph this thing. I think polymorphing this is a little bit slow. We're going to take a little risk here, play the Water Elemental. Alright, let him deal with this freaking broken card. So his minions can't kill it, it's only 5 damage. He can, of course, Shadow Word Pain. I have not given anything good to use on Shadow Word Pain because he's been playing cards and because he was the first player. He's actually got a pretty small hand, only 4 cards here on turn 5, so I've got a reasonable chance that he doesn't have Shadow Word Pain in there. If he does, then at least it's 40% of his turn, and then next turn we can do some other stuff. So it's nice having the Arcane Intellect later in the game. That will be a way of, what's his face, getting some cards. Alright, so he hasn't used any mana so far. He's going to play a Leper Gnome. Interesting. Not see the Leper Gnome coming. And another thing of course here to heal up his Harvest Golem. Very well played. Very well played. Alright, so let's think about this. I could polymorph this Golem. I could coin into an Archmage. That seems a bit slow. Cone of Cold is an interesting possibility. If I Cone of Cold here, well, I can ping the Leper Gnome, Cone of Cold his team, Water Elemental finishes it off. No, I'd actually rather Water Elemental there, Cone of Cold, kill the Golem and the Leper Gnome, freeze the Defender. No, Cone of Cold here, Kill the leper gnome, kill the golem, freeze this guy, and then I can coin ping and kill off the golem. I think that's worth it. So we're going to do this. This. It's worth it to use a coin. Finish that off. That's the turn. Alright, so it's a bit dicey here because I've got removal, but it's expensive, and he's got 5 power on the board, which is a lot of power on the board. So I might not be able to just leisurely play out the Archmage, depending on the situation. Although if I do play it, it's very difficult for him to kill it, because it's got 7 health and it doesn't die to Shadow Words. He's got 5 power on the board already, but if he trades all of his minions to kill my Archmage, I'm pretty down with that. He actually heals his guy for just 1. And what else is he going to do? That's encouraging. No Boulder Fist Ogres or anything coming down. Oh my gosh, he actually passed the turn. Well, Archmage Leonidas makes me regret using my coin on the last turn, because the coin is a spell, and that would have given me a fireball, but we can wait. We can wait. He does die to Shadow Word Death, unfortunately. I don't have any mirror images yet, and I use my Frostbolt. It's going to be difficult for me to use this guy on the turn I play him. It's pretty much going to have to be turn 10, which is 4 turns from now that I play him, and then use Arcane Intellect for 2 cards and a fireball. So yeah, this is a dim hope that I'm actually going to get to use him, but at least he's a threat that my opponent will have to address. I can't bait out Shadow Word Death, and actually I don't really want to play this on turn 10 because then it gets mind controlled. So I don't know, I think I'd rather just play him and make my opponent deal with him. Oh god, Sunwalker. Well, I can't play him yet, we have to polymorph that. That's not something that I can possibly let stand, but the Archmage gets to live. Unfortunately, I'm getting a little bit low on health. Luckily, priests are one of the worst classes at burning people out. So here we go. Ooh, Blizzard. Oh my god. That would actually kill these things because it's getting spell damage buffed. But unfortunately, I cannot Blizzard and what's his face? Ping, so I couldn't get that Divine Shield off. I am going to take a little chance. I'm going to play Imp Master rather than pinging away the sheep, because I feel like it's worth it to start this Imp army going. That way, you know, if I play Blizzard, I can deal some extra damage with these Imps, and in general, just having stuff on the board is always nice. Alright, we're coming up on mind control territory. Not much room to mind control, except for, of course, my Archmage. He's going to mind games. Well, luckily this guy's in my hand, so he can't steal this. And I also have my other big minion on the board, so this is actually unlikely to give him anything good. He actually gets a Novice Engineer. He just paid 4 mana for a 1/1. That is pretty fortunate. But granted, my deck doesn't actually have that many minions. I think that mind games is actually a pretty bad card. On average, I think, just in general, if you look at most decks, like the majority of the minions are 3 mana or less. So, yeah, you're just mathematically unlikely to get anything great out of it. He can, however, try to burn me out. That's pretty much all he's got going for him. He apparently just doesn't have anything good. He might be holding on to mind controls or something crazy like that. Let's do this. Let's play Bluegill Warrior. I'm going to play a Frostwolf Warlord. Okay. So now we'll just clear his board out. I don't mind taking a little bit of card disadvantage with that Bluegill Warrior, because I'm already way ahead on cards. So I got this 8/8. Now this will bait a Shadow Word Death. We're a turn away from mind control, thankfully, which is nice. So if he got Shadow Word Death, he has to use it on the Frostwolf Warlord, but then the Archmage is a little bit safer. He's holding on to 4 cards. It's very likely that one of them is Shadow Word Death. I mean, how could he have been holding on to all these cards? He's been passing so many turns. This has been a very odd game. He started out with a perfect curve. Turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, but then he just completely ran out of juice. He's going to play Shadow Form. So now he's going to ping away my Archmage, which is fine because this guy gets to live. Oh, what? He's pinging that. Why are you pinging that thing? Oh my god, I don't understand. He should have just killed the Archmage. There's really just no universe where what he just did makes any sense. I'm okay with that, however. Let's go ahead and play the Darkscale Healer. Whee! Now we can kill Senjin. Do I save this to get a fireball? Yeah, I think it's actually worth it to get a fireball. So I will not play the Arcane Intellect on this turn. Just do this. It really makes no sense why he pinged this. If he's got a mind control and was planning to steal this, well then there's no reason to damage it. I don't know. It makes no sense. So anyway, this has been a weird game. He started out looking like a really good player, and he has had lots of good cards, but he just doesn't have Shadow Word Death or Shadow Word Pain, or apparently minions to play. He doesn't even mind control me or anything here. He's going to Holy No, which is not a big deal. So my Archmage got healed by the Darkscale Healer. This could have been a Mana Worm, good thing it wasn't. Now this thing's at 3 health, he concedes. Oh, I never got to use Archmage. Well, that's okay. Archmage Leonidas will wait for another day. We get a very strange win. I really thought that was going to be difficult, and then it turned out to be super easy because he had nothing good. I played 1 minion that cost 2 or less. I actually have a lot in this deck. A decent number anyway. 3 1s and a bunch of 2s, so that was kind of weird that I made so little progress on that quest, but it's okay. We will finish that quest. As always, we will do 2 games in this video, and then we will do the rest of the run in an upcoming video. I'm picking up a little bit of steam, actually. If you haven't watched my last 2 videos, it was a Paladin run and a Shaman run. I recommend them both. They were both really good, really fun arenas. I made some educational mistakes, but I also played really well in some cases, so I hope that my educational good plays are more heavily weighted in your YouTube Papa Boris watching experience than my educational mistakes. We're up against the Paladin Decilio. Fine, I can kill recruits with my hero ability. We got a Mana Worm, which can also kill recruits. That's awesome. Wolf Rider will kill some stuff early on, perhaps. This is good. This is good. So I can even play the Wolf Rider on turn 3, potentially, because I got the Mana Worm to kill off his recruits. I don't have any spells to help my Mana Worms with, so I'm glad that I didn't take more. I think I could have actually had 4 Mana Worms, but really, if I'm a first player and I don't have the coin, Mana Worm is a little bit underwhelming. I can't do much with it. I never got Mirror Images or Arcane Missiles, which are some of the best ways to buff those guys. I don't want him to play a real creature. Don't play a real creature. Oh, he plays Light's Justice. That's fine. So unfortunately, Light's Justice is good for him because it will kill the Novice Engineer and the Wolf Rider, so that's kind of problem. He's actually going to whack the Mana Worm once, which isn't the worst thing in the world. Light's Justice has so many uses that it really doesn't matter that much. Wow. Alright, let's do this thing. Let's do Lore Walker Cho. I don't have any spells. Might as well drop the guy down. If my opponent has some spells, he can't use them now. Now, Paladins don't really have that many early game spells, but later on, if he plays Consecration or Hammer of Wrath, that would be good for me. True Silver Champion is a weapon. Weapons don't count as spells, unfortunately, for all of us. Well, for all of us who play with Lore Walker Cho, I suppose. Or with Gadgets and Auctioneers. Yeah, lots of stuff you'd wish counted for spells. He's actually going to play Equality. That's really bizarre. So he just gave me an Equality, which is a pretty strong card for a Mage to have. If you think about it. Equality plus the Mage's hero ability is broken. It also actually beefs up my Mana Worm's attack because it is a spell, but we're not going to do that. So I can either play Wolf Rider, this is essentially 6 damage, hits for 3, and then he kills it with Light's Justice. But what I'd actually rather do is play Novice Engineer here, even though it doesn't use up my mana, because I'd rather use the Wolf Rider to kill something than to use it for damage, and I'm pretty happy to cycle my deck. So what has happened here? Lore Walker Cho died, but he got replaced with Equality. My opponent lost Equality, but he gained a card because he used the weapon to kill Lore Walker Cho, and he's going to use the weapon to kill Mana Worm as well. Now the nice thing here is there are 2 targets he wants to kill with this weapon, but he can only kill one of them, so this Novice Engineer will live to kill a recruit. Now, Paladins are one of the worst classes in the game at dealing with Water Elemental. Just one of the worst. And if it can start attacking him, it makes all of his True Slivers useless. So he needs a really good drop right here on turn 3, because if he doesn't play anything good right here, then the Water Elemental is going to stick and he's going to have no way of killing it. Alright, he's going to use the coin, so he killed Lore Walker Cho before using the coin, so I can't steal the coin. And he actually does play something that's really good. Unfortunately here, I can play the Water Elemental, but then he only needs 1 more point of damage to kill it with the Yeti's help. So do I play it anyway, or do I go for Equality and ping off the Yeti? Well, Equality seems silly here because I can't do anything else besides ping. That seems a bit weak. Let's actually play the Water Elemental and hit him in the face. So now there's a lot of different ways that he could kill the Water Elemental because of this Yeti, and the Yeti actually does survive. But hopefully he'll need some other card to kill the Water Elemental alongside the Yeti. I just don't want to see a Shattered Sun Cleric or a Dark Iron Dwarf, or Blessing of Kings for that matter. Blessing of Kings though is okay because I have Equality, I can deal with it. I just don't want to see Dark Iron Dwarf or Shattered Sun Cleric. That would put a minion on the board while taking one of my minions off the board, which is just the worst. Just the worst. Alright, he's going to hit the Novice Engineer, so let's see, does he have a Dark Iron Dwarf? That's our Abusive Sergeant. Either one is really good for getting rid of this Water Elemental. Does he have a thing? Oh god, I'm in such suspense. I can hardly take it. Come on. He has a Spellbreaker. So he's going to silence this, which prevents me from freezing his face. But it's still going to do some pretty good stuff. It'll kill the Spellbreaker and then damage this Yeti. Alright, Flame Strike is nice to have. I can play the Golem, which threatens to kill a minion, or the Wolf Rider, which actually kills a minion. Let's go ahead and do the Wolf Rider. He seems pretty solid. Doesn't matter how I do it. So I cleared the board. I could have put something on the board and left his stuff on the board, but as the old saying goes, don't let Paladins keep creatures, especially with Flame Strike here. I'm happy just to let him repopulate the board and kill all the stuff in 2 turns. Perhaps. Or perhaps we'll play something really big. Okay, Azure Drake, not a bad card. What I'm going to do here is actually play the Golem and the Shattered Sun Cleric. So the reason for this is that I'd rather put 2 minions on the board than just 1 big one, as broken as this card is. Now, this will die to Flame Strike, so depending on what he plays here, I could get a really good Flame Strike going. Both of my minions deal 3 damage, so if he runs in with the Azure Drake, I could also just ping it to death. Now, we did get a card off of this, so it's I'm not getting ahead by doing that, but I'm not falling behind either.
Let me think.
It's going to Hammer of Wrath for 4 damage. That'll let him kill my Golem off. Now he can kill the damaged Golem with the Azure Drake, and it'll be at 2 health, so it'll survive. Wild Pyromancer, alright. Oh, interesting choice. I think that was a stone cold mistake, ladies and gentlemen. I think that was a mistake. I think you should have killed the damaged Golem. Why? Because this thing kills the Shattered Sun Cleric, as does this. But by killing the Shattered Sun Cleric, he leaves this pingable. And then my damaged Golem kills off the Pyromancer. I would not have been able to clear his board if he had killed my Shattered Sun, or my damaged Golem instead of the Shattered Sun Cleric. That was a case where killing the less strong creature was smarter than killing the harder hitting one. So this way I get to put 2 minions on the board, and I cleared his board, whereas otherwise he would have actually still had a minion on the board left over. He would have had the Wild Pyromancer on the board, so that was actually a really big mistake. Alright, so he plays Light's Justice, which will make Flame Strike a little bit more difficult to use. Stone Tusk Boar will let him actually kill my Mana Worm and live to tell the tale if he wants to waste a tick of the weapon. No, he's actually going to play Shattered Sun Cleric. Let's him just kill my Mana Worm straight out. Oh, God. Well, not bad. Not bad. So do I Flame Strike this, or do I Cone of Cold? And then wait for him to play more things. With Stone Tusk Boar, I'm guessing he's got a pretty weak deck. Ah, okay. Well, this makes it a little bit easier. Since I got the Dark Scale Healer, clearly we'll just kill this. Play the healer. So that this thing now doesn't die to the boar. And we're going to go ahead and ping the boar. So it'll die to Cone of Cold. You can use the boar plus the weapon to kill the water elemental if he wishes, which is fine. We've got some card advantage going. Quality Flame Strike, that's a quality Cone of Cold is actually pretty good. Oh my gosh, that's a really good combo. Because that'll kill 3 of his minions for 2 cards. And it doesn't matter how big the minions are. So any of his big minions just can't really get played very easily here. If I were him, I would kill the water elemental, because otherwise I'll just freeze him indefinitely. Got a secret. Alright. Mages, unfortunately, are not the best at clearing out Noble Sacrifice. This is where the Druids and the Rogues attacking with their hero ability is actually good, because it flushes out Noble Sacrifices for free. It's going to run. Does he actually have, is that Redemption? Oh no, Redemption just doesn't trigger on the Paladin's turn anymore. Alright, so he will just hit this. He's frozen now, which probably won't matter much. Acolyte of Pain will give him a card, which is just a 3-mana cycle. So and the charge is completely wasted. It's just dealing an extra damage to the Dark Scale Healer. It's not that big of a deal. Okay, I think I'm going to come out ahead on this one. I've got the Flame Strike. He's going to draw another card. Okay, that's annoying, because now the Acolyte will kill this. Okay, that is actually really annoying. Crap. Well, I'm going to play a 5/5, and I am going to do this. Much as that hurts. Oh, right, Noble Sacrifice. I totally forgot about that. Jeez. Well, anyway, we kill that thing. We ping his face. Don't ping the Acolyte. That would be very foolish. Now, actually, with that Acolyte and the Hammer of Wrath drawing him cards, he came out ahead. I've actually lost a number of games recently to opponents having card draw at critical junctures. He's just got so many cards. Okay, luckily he can't attack with this. That's really, really important, because otherwise he could have killed the Frostwolf Warlord this turn. He can't quite kill the Frostwolf Warlord here. It's only 4 damage. Does he have another Stone Tusk Boar Elven Archer? No, he's just going to hit me in the face. Not a problem. Okay, I think we Flame Strike here. Ah, Archmage. I could Archmage Cone of Cold. Yep, that's worth it. That is worth it. So he's getting an extra card off the Acolyte this way. But his stuff is all frozen. I'm bashing him for 5 damage. Got 9 damage potential here. And it's difficult for him to kill anything because his stuff's frozen. He can hit this for 4 damage, so he needs a point of damage here, but it has to be like Hammer of Wrath or Elven Archer or something. It needs to be direct damage. And Paladins aren't the greatest at direct damage other than Hammer of Wrath. Urapashi Berserker, not at all relevant. Frostwolf Warlord, don't care. At all in the slightest. The 7 health is actually kind of a problem, because even with this Flame Strike, it's not enough. Oh my gosh, he just hit that? Oh, that was a mistake. So he took 3 net damage just to hit this thing down. That was foolish. Now I actually get to kill him because of that. So otherwise I would have, otherwise he'd be at 14 health. I couldn't kill him, but this way I actually, the 3 damage that he took caused him to die. So I didn't even need the Flame Strike equality, but I could have potentially used Flame Strike equality to clear his board. And then hit him for 9 damage. He would have been at 5 health. Yeah, then the Arcane Golem got top decked. It was gonna be bad for him regardless. So that was a pretty good run. Thanks for watching the video so far. If you enjoyed it, sorry, I said that was a good run. It's not over yet. We have many games to play. But if you enjoyed the video so far, please like it. Please subscribe to my channel to help support me. And if you want to see the rest of the run, then stay tuned. The rest of the games will be posted soon. I'll see you in just a bit.